Hey, welcome to the Warrior Zone podcast. This is the official podcast for Warrior Restaurants, where we get real, raw, relevant, and focus on kick-ass results so you can achieve the have-it-all lifestyle. I am so happy and honored to be joined by my fellow warrior, Kirk Jacobson from Be in the Fight. Kirk, how's it going, my brother?
My man, Donald, the honor is mine. Thank you for having me here today. I am doing well. Just kicking ass here on a Thursday and just happy to be here with you, brother.
I'm awesome, man. It's so awesome. Yeah, I saw you at council and stuff like that. And one of the things that really, and Kirk and I didn't really realize this, but you had a death experience too. Like I had a cardiac arrest in 2018, died twice. You had and you were telling the story at council, and I was just like, man, I got off easy. It's like, cardiac arrest is easy. It's like, you just pass out. That's it. And you die. It's like, you had oh shit. I got shit down. I got fucking, Tell people about the story, man. It's fucking intense shit.
All right. Yeah, we can run through that. It's I'll try and give you like the non-Cliff Notes version. I'll give you like the good one. But like it's one of those things like, I mean, I've gone ham on this and I've told it like if I tell the full story and like say all the things I want to say in there, like we're talking like an hour and a half, like easy. So I mean, even in council, like I just kind of threw in a hard stop. I was just like,
you did this abbreviated version. But even then, I looked out, like, because I was sitting next to you I was on stage sitting next to you, and you were like talking to people. I was looking out and looking at people's faces, and they were like, "Holy fucking shit, man!"
Yeah, it brings the oh fuck for sure. And so I mean, I guess without further ado, I can kind of explain a little bit of what we're talking about, because I'm sure the people in the audience are like,
what the fuck
are these guys talking about?
What are these guys fucking talking about?
Fucking morons over here. We don't know. We're not in. Let us in on the story here, guy.
Yeah, we're on the inside, man. Fuck.
So this is kind of going to feed into a little bit later too. I mean, it really wraps into everything. So we're going to get our time machine here, and we're going to go back to August 16th, 2021. And that morning kind of started out just like any other. So I had just taken my daughter to school. My wife and I we just went to Dunkin' Donuts, which is right next door. I was playing with my son. And then we came home. I was going to take some stuff out to the dump, and I had just been out there before the weekend, and I kind of got the third degree from one of the guys out there because I wasn't wearing the helmet and everything. I was like, bro, I just barely made it out here. So like, I mean, I had to get here. I think so. I wanted to keep my word to him. So I'm going through my garage. And I'm going for my hard hat, and I'm a big guy, and so like I've got big boots, size 14, and I just clipped this box full of spray cans, like spray paint, WD-40. I mean, a can of WD-40 went rolling for like effect. If we were in Hollywood, it would have been the perfect setup. And as soon as I kick that box, I hear this spraying sound. I think it's a spraying sound. So I'm obviously thinking that I've lidded a can of spray paint. I'm just making a mess. It's going to take me hours to clean up. I'm pissed, and I reach down for it. Well, apparently that wet spraying sound is what a rattlesnake sounds like when it's coiled up in your tool stack, and like the acoustics are weird. And I didn't know that. That was my first experience with one in my tool stack. So I reached down and whack, it gets me right on the back of the wrist here. Now I was wearing this cuff. It's kind of a trophy at this point, but it hit here, and on the same strike bit down again. So I had 3 fangs enter into the back of my wrist.
Damn.
And and so just so everybody knows, that's a 0 out of 5 stars. Like, do not recommend. Snake venom sucks. A lot of people are like, well, how does it feel? And I'm like, well, if we can inject you with some battery acid, like, let's start there. We'll let that go through your veins for a little bit. And like, you remember those pipettes when we were in science class, like back in the day? And like, if you fucking touch anything with them, they just shatter.
Yeah, that's
what my veins were doing.
Oh god.
Like, so that's what my veins were doing in my arm. And then on top of that, there was this really great sensation of like a blowtorch chasing along the top of the skin. So I mean, it was really this trifecta of just glorious pain. And so we got to the hospital in like 12 minutes, like 13 minutes. It was like 10:03 when I was bitten by the snake, and my wife just hauled ass, got us there. Everybody's like, "What'd you do with the snake?" I'm like, "Nothing. He already fucking won. He was still in the stack. All I'll do is get bit again." We left the garage door open, and like the firefighters had like a WWE Raw match in there. Like levels were broken, tools were fucking everywhere. Like this was like demon snake, man. Like it was just unreal. I wish I had a video in there, because I mean, I'm sure there would have been like suplexes, like people's elbows coming down. It was a wreck. So anyways, back to me. I'm going to the ER. I walk in, I'm holding my wrist. I've got a tourniquet. Not supposed to do that, but I had so many other health issues, like high blood pressure. I'd already had a heart ablation from an electrocution, which I'd had my heart stopped previous to that with the Adidasine. So I mean, I've clinically been dead a couple times, but we're talking about like fucking corpse dead here. So let's get in. So this is still kind of COVID time. Like we're still in that, like, you know, not so many people in the hospital and everything's stupid and we've got our reason for it, but whatever. And my wife and my son were with me, and after about 30 minutes, we're still waiting on the antivenin. And they're like, well, they got to go. They can't stay back here in the ER. And, you know, even if you had a room, they wouldn't be able to go in there either. So at this point, it was everybody was treating it pretty much like standard, right? Like, you're an idiot. You got bit by a rattlesnake. We got 10 vials of antivenin, which will cover a lethal bite. Like, you'll be fine. Like, okay, cool. I'll be fine. This sucks, but I'll be fine. Say goodbye to him. Like, hey, peace out. See you later. Very nonchalant, very like no ceremony to it at all. This comes back to haunt me a little bit later, because after they leave, I'm still sitting there and, you know, all of this pain. And I'm like, hey, about that antivenin, where the fuck is it? And they're like, well, we got your toxicology back from your blood and you need 20. Like, and so they're mixing more. And now I'm like, well, shit. That just changed like the whole paradigm, like switched around now, because now this isn't just your standard, oh, fuck, you got bit by a rattlesnake, you moron, here we go, we'll treat you, you'll be good. Now it's like, no, you've got more than enough to kill you inside your body, and we're trying to counteract it. So now I'm mentally entering the oh shit zone in a pretty big way. Now this is still like, we're talking like 11:15 in the morning, and my kidneys had already shut down. I ended up putting on about 17 pounds of water weight from the IV bags just draining into me and not peeing. Not being able to process it in any way. And they finally get me up to a room in the ICU, probably about like 6 o'clock that night. It was like 6, I think 7 actually, about 7 o'clock. Because I was in there for about an hour, and then all of a sudden it starts getting really noisy and I start feeling pretty weird. Turns out I was coding, and then the room got really crazy busy. They worked on me for 90 minutes and actually you know, were able to keep me mostly alive. I crashed a few times, you know, my heart was stopping, but I never lost consciousness in that part. And what I really remember the most is that they put that damn oxygen mask like crimped my nose over, so like I'm trying to breathe but can't. And so I'm just watching everything here, though. I'm hearing them scream for this medicine and that medicine, and just into this IV, into that IV. Just things are nuts. Hour and a half of that, up, down, feel like somebody's sitting on my chest, feel like I'm gonna explode from my chest, feel like I'm on the ceiling, feel like I'm in the floor. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. And then all of a sudden I'm good. Like, the machines are quiet, the sinus rhythms on the heart, and they're like, well, okay, we're stable. Damn. Holy shit, we're stable. And I'm like, all right. Well, somewhere along that process in there, I was praying to God, and I was like, and throughout the whole day, I'd realized, oh shit, I'm in zero control here. Right, like we're way past suck it out, which isn't a thing anyway. But like, I'm in for the ride now. I can't change anything. And really, the doctors, we're in 2021 right now, even in 2024, doctors don't know what the fuck they're doing when you come in with a snake bite. They actually defer. They call poison control, and they're like, here's the numbers. What do you want us to do? And poison control makes the call on whether or not you get treatment. So yeah, so we're all this happens, and I'm stable. But oh no, sorry. While it's going on, I'm praying to God. I say, hey God, let's trick the devil here. You know, just got bit by a snake. All weapons formed against me. All that jazz. I don't want to die. I'm really in this position where I'm like, I'm not ready. I do not want to die. This is not the day. And now I'm thinking like, okay, we did it. God did it. Let's let this venom burn out everything that you don't want. I mean, we did it. We're here. Okay, now what is that? What's going on? And I'm thinking about this. And all of a sudden, the guy to my right, like, he starts coding, and so the whole team runs over there, and they're working on him. This guy's name, they're yelling at turnover. I remember it clearly. Not gonna say it here because, you know, HIPAA and all that stuff. But then all of a sudden, the guy to my left starts coding too, and they split the team. Yeah, and I'm like in the middle, like, fuck. Like, kind of watching it go on. I'm like, oh damn, like, I'm really glad that I had the whole team. Like, that's the stupid thought that went through my head. And then, like, not too long after I have that moronic thought, all of a sudden it feels like I got hit by like a bumper car. Boom. And then, like, I'm dropping, like, I'm falling, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually looked out the window. I don't know why, but I checked the horizon. I'm like, oh, nope, the hospital's not falling. Of course the hospital's not falling. My heart had stopped again. Now I'm starting to recognize that the machines are screaming. Like, well, here they come.
Here they come. No one's coming.
No one's coming. Shit, they don't know. And I go to like push the button. I can't move. I go to scream. I can't scream. And it's just this, you know, it's hitting me like, oh fuck, dude, you're dying and nobody's coming running.
Yeah.
And honestly, I people are like, well, dude, how would they do that? I'm like, they gave me the like VIP treatment there for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're thinking the same thing I've been thinking all day. This dude's soaked in venom. Like there's nothing we can do. Like we just pulled all the tricks we got. And they had 2 people that they had, on the table already and already split. So I don't really, I'm not throwing it at them. But what was crazy is that I never lost consciousness. And right around that point, when the oh shit started happening, I started hearing this voice. Now, when my dad passed away when I was 19, God gave me the words to say things that I never thought I'd be able to say at the time. Because what I really wanted to say was, no, fight, don't go. I love you. Stay here. Not now. And what I was able to tell him was like, you're so loved. It's okay. Like we're going to be all right. We're going to be good. Like it was this reassurance and grace that I was able to give him at the time. Well, all of a sudden those words are being played back to me. Now, I don't know if it's an echo or if that's more just my dad's voice talking to me from the beyond. So I don't know how exactly that worked out, but I do remember feeling that kind of like a disconnect from my body, seeing the room from up on top, and then all of a sudden just going very bright, very white. And in that space, I ended up meeting with my father. And there wasn't really speaking. All I can kind of describe it as like a knowing. And, 20 years of grief, almost 20 years of grief, were just reconciled, boom. And just, we knew, we got it. It was like, I love you, I get it, and we understand. Same thing ended up happening with my grandpa, grandma, aunts, uncles, a cousin that passed away just a couple years previous to that. And I was carrying a lot from that one too. Before she passed away, she was in my kitchen, crying in my arms, saying that she didn't want to die, and the helplessness of that, just carrying that. So, yeah. So to be able to see all these people, there's this part in your life where you're like, I would give anything for that opportunity, right? And so many people, I would give anything for that. Just one more second, 5 more minutes. What I don't know how many country songs have hit the top, platinum for that, but I mean that riff will get you a platinum record. Because it's true though. Like, I mean, we miss the people so much, and we have so much insecurity, and we're unsure of what happened. Well, now I'm not unsure. I know exactly what happened to him, but I'm in this position. I'm like, well, I'm not going to trade that though. Like, I'm not ready to die for this. And I'm definitely not done. I'm not done being a dad. I'm not done being a husband. And I feel like I got some more shit to do. And I honestly don't know why me, right? Like, because I can't think of another parent that would get to that situation and not say like, not yet. But there I was. And after seeing the family, kind of like this procession, I guess I was caring enough that I got to see the manager in my protest. But I ended up in the throne room, and I just know it was the throne room. I know I was with Jesus, with God. The power was, I can't really describe it to you, but at the same time, the amount of love and acceptance was equal to the power. People ask me what it felt like, and I remember here, I'm going from like a 9.5 on the pain scale. Like my whole body is just shredding apart. And the only reason it's not a 10 is because I was still able to like compartmentalize. But all of a sudden I go to this place, but what does it feel like? And all I can describe it is that if you've been like, have you gone up to like the mountains when it's snowing, like a ski trip?
Yeah.
And you've got like those perfect comforters. And you wake up at that like 5 a.m. ish, and right when it's like the coldest part of the night, but you're in this perfect zone where you almost feel like you're weightless and everything's just fucking perfect, and you're like, oh yes, like that's what heaven felt like.
With really cool.
All the love and acceptance that you could ever imagine.
Really cool. That's so cool, man.
So I get there, and I'm feeling this power, and I do the same thing. Like, God is so amazing to even be here in your presence. I'm not done. Like, I know it's arrogant. I know it's it's whatever it is, but it's also me, and I'm not done. I'm not done being dad. That I like to throw out there, I'm not done being a husband, and I wasn't. Yeah. But my biggest pull was my babies coming back, and I was blessed. God told me to breathe, and I try and explain this. It's like it was the most simple whisper, but it was also a command, and it was like a mountain told me to breathe. If that makes any sense. Like,
it does. It makes a lot of sense.
It was like visceral. And all of a sudden I'm going from this place of, no stress, no anything. And the best way I can really describe it is like re-entering the atmosphere in God's fist, going like the wrong way up a lightning bolt.
Wow.
And if you've seen those, scenes from like you got a plane crash or something, and it's like very, or re-enter the atmosphere.
Scattered out. Everything's scattered across the plains.
Yeah, like flashing and like really scratchy, crazy audio.
Yeah.
Like that, those were the experiences I was having as I came back, and all of a sudden just bam. I know I'm back in my body. Pain is thundering back in. My lungs were like ripping apart because they were flat, they were deflated. And so my chest was rocking back and forth, and all of a sudden it was like duct tape being pulled apart inside my lungs, and that's a fun experience, by the way. Like, write that one down. That's, you know, that one's something that's memorable. And by the time I'm opening my eyes, I'm looking at this monitor and I'm telling myself this is fucking impossible, because the monitor is telling me that 35% body or blood oxygen. I'm like, nah, you pass out at 85. This is bullshit. Not bullshit. My heart rate, looked over there, was like 38, jumped up to 48, 58, went all the way up into the 200s as my body reoxygenated.
Yeah.
And now all the machines are starting to scream again because they're coming back from the other way, right? Like they were flatlining, and now they're like, oh, this guy's crashing. But I'm actually coming back, and there's nobody in the fucking room, Donald. Like, it's just me. There's nobody in the room. And so here I am. Now I'm sitting up in bed and I'm looking down at my hands, because now I'm processing some pretty heavy shit.
Shit, man. I'd be like, fucking, like, what the fuck just happened?
I mean, the what the fuck was through the roof, like over 9,000. There was a big what the fuck moment. Now I'm staring down at my hands, and this nurse comes in, and she's looking at me, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I look up from my hands, and I look at her, and I go, I don't know, you tell me. And when I started speaking, she lost her shit. Like, boom, her eyes got like as big as plates, and she ran over to the machine that I hadn't even really seen, like the heart monitor over there. I'm just, like I said, processing here. And she rips off this tape of paper that I hadn't even recognized was there. And she starts spreading her arms, looking at it. And where she's ripped it off, there's some squiggles where it started, you know, it's getting back down to a flat line, but now it's got a flat line on it. And she goes, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 6. She spread her arms across 6 times, and there was still a roll of paper out on the floor. So I'm thinking, like,
flatlined. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just printing while I was being flatlined.
That's a mind fuck.
Yeah. And so
did you get the sheets?
No, those went straight to the incinerator. I'm pretty sure that had lawyer written all over it, and they were like, nope. Actually, you look at my file, you know, there's nothing in it except that they reordered my blood work. Now, why would you take a guy that you're treating for snake venom off of the hourly blood work?
Yeah.
Unless he's a corpse.
No shit.
So they restart the blood work, and now these poor phlebotomists are like sticking me, and they're looking at me like real goofy. They're like waiting for me to do something. I'm just like, I know, it's weird for me too. And they take the blood and they come back. I've actually got it here. I needed 14 more vials of antivenom.
Oh my god.
This is the last bag that I did swipe. I was like, I get to keep that. And so I needed 14 more vials to bring my grand total up to 34. So not only did I get brought back into a body that was just a corpse, but that body was so toxic that it would fucking kill anybody. So yeah, God is good, man. God is powerful. And it's seriously, it was tough. I didn't tell my wife any of this for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, again, she was completely left out of the loop. I was trying to figure out, there was a lot of soul searching. Am I crazy? Will anybody believe me if I say this shit out loud? And then it kind of got to this point where God was like, you gonna tell anybody about this? Because that was kind of the point. And I started actually thinking about, I mean, my branding here. Obviously, I've got a hard on for Spartans. But, you know, you look at the movie 300, and we realize later in the story that we're listening to a telling of the story, of a glorification of the story to inspire the Senate to move, right? Like, of course, it's over the top. But, like, there's this point where, you know, our storyteller loses an eye. He says, well, the gods saw fit to give me 2. But Leonidas is like, no, you can do something the rest of us can't. You can tell the story.
Yes, definitely.
Like, and so that's kind of what it feels like a little bit. And so that's where I'm kind of leaning into that Spartan imagery here with being the fight.
Cool.
And also I'd gone through this period in my life where just before this, we're in August here, right? And that January, I had started my journey with the warrior challenge and going through learn the warrior's way through shelter. So I'm like 7 minutes into this, and I had finally woken up after like a decade of just losing myself. Completely abandoning my identity to, you know, things went south with the business that I was really invested in, not just financially, but with my heart, and kind of gave that up, and just because of fear from somebody else. And it just, I abandoned who I was, and I got stuck in this position where I just hadn't gotten it back yet. And now finally at this point, I kind of joke about it. It's like fella got his groove back. And then all of a sudden I get bit by this fucking snake and dead and then back. And I'm trying to figure that whole mind fuck out. And I'm still in the warrior after that for a while. And have been for the last 3 years. So it's, without that rocket boost and the ability to use the stack to dig through my own brain and like be like, no, like you remember certain, like there's no way you can know these things. There's no way you could have seen that. You never lost consciousness. Like you have clear memory of everything. You know exactly how it felt. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so that's about the short version that I can bring with some fun emotion.
That's awesome shit, man. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm I don't know if I'm lucky or the guy who actually started CPR on me had a really morbid sense of humor, but so mine happened. Like I was leaving the gym and I just basically had cardiac arrest, just passed out, hit this window in front of a gun store. The guy working the gun store was a sheriff's deputy. He ran out to check on me. At the same time, this undercover narcotics officer was pulling up to the gun store, saw his buddy run up to it. He ran up to me and they said they saw the life drain out of me. Checked my pulse, no pulse. They said they saw you we just saw you turn white. And they started CPR on me. They kept CPR going on me. They kept going back and forth, practice, doing CPR till EMS arrived. When the paramedics arrived, they backed off. I died again, and then EMS jumped in. And I have a picture. I have a picture of me on the ground, dead. EMS reviving me, and the guy who started CPR says, he might want a picture of this someday. So he took a picture of me on the ground, dead. I show it like a lot of my workshops and my speeches on big stages. I say, and I usually use this as a thing like, don't wait. You never know when shit's gonna happen. I say, you see that picture? See those orange shoes on the bottom? That's me. I'm dead. That's me dead. Yeah. And the guy thought it was funny to put take a picture of me, and he shared it with me. So,
well, I mean, that's actually kind of awesome, and you're so right. Like, I mean, after that kind of experience, what was haunting me was I for a while, I just felt like everything was precious, right? Like every single moment, it was overwhelming on so many levels. Like colors were brighter, flavors were intense, moments were so precious. I mean, like I remember just the easy things. Like my kiddos would climb up in my lap and I'd fucking
just cry. Yeah, no shit, man. It's
because it was like, this is everything I was terrified of losing. And I lost, but I have it back. And my wife and I actually we started really hitting collisions because she's a stay-at-home mom and she gets tired of it, right? And I get that. But at a certain sense, I was like, you have no fucking clue how lucky you are.
Yeah, no shit.
And I realized that I was getting angry at her about an experience that she didn't have any even connection to the fact that I had it, let alone any ability to connect to that kind of feeling or emotion.
Very cool.
So it kind of came down to this point of like, okay, I got to tell her. And I think I need to start getting pretty vocal about this and telling other people, because it's not really my story so much as it's God's story, in my opinion.
Yes.
It really has little to do with me because I'm the guy that just got fucking dead. Like the interesting parts come from God.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
So in the Warriors way, we follow the core four: body, being, balance, business. As far as body, talk about maybe, how do you ensure your physical health and stamina are kind of matched up to the relentless demand of being an entrepreneur?
Oh, that's a good question. People don't give that one enough credit, do they?
No shit, they don't. I mean, I think it's a huge thing that a lot of people overlook. They think they just focus so much on the business part that they forget the body part.
And for a long time, I mean, before I joined in Warrior, actually, your dead picture is actually a picture of me on the Polar Express. Yeah, and I've got my kids around me. We're at this peak experience, but I look back on the pictures, and this dude sitting in like these jammies, which are probably like 2x, maybe 3x jammies, is a damn balloon and like dead in his eyes, where he should be having the most fun ever with his kids. Like I'm wearing a mask. I can tell, look, it's me. I'm like, dude, you are empty in that picture. And I looked at that and I realized my kids deserve better. My wife deserves better. I'm not willing to live like this anymore. And I don't really like the other option of checking out. So I got to make a change. And so much of that was rooted in, I was living that into my body. Like there just was so little care about myself that I always wonder, how do people get to 300 pounds, right? Like, how do you do that? Well, I was 295. I was fucking figuring it out pretty quick, You know, it was just eating feelings, not taking, intense action with your body, and building a body that can handle that level of stress and to produce the energy that you need to bring as an entrepreneur. I mean, it's relentless. People are like, oh, well, it must be nice to make your own schedule. And it's like, yeah, fucker. I traded a 9-to-5 for a 24/7. It's great. And then if you're a real psychopath like me, you'll do 2 or 3 companies at the same fucking time and try and be a father and try and be a husband and try and do well at all of it. At this point, I obviously fucked it up for a long time, but I wasn't doing great at any of them. But now I'm getting on a lot of cylinders here, and that takes a body that can keep up. So right now, I do a lot of intense exercise. Like I've really been hitting the weights really hard. My impossible game from my body right now is 250 pounds at 12%. So right now I'm 261.4 and probably about 19%. So
very cool.
Things that we track change, right?
That's it. Can't measure, you can't manage, you can't manage, you can't improve it.
That's it, baby.
That's it.
So yeah, I mean that's what I do. I mean, and that's a great question, man, because people just don't understand until you're in the game. And then when you're in the game, then you can start having that conversation with guys, and we'll find a lot of, just as well as I do, we know guys that are in the game that aren't taking care of their body to be present. Yeah. Like for me, it's like you got to be in the fight. Part of that's got to have a body that can fight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I find the physical game, the body game, plays with the mental game. Because when my body's on track, I find I got more discipline, I got more confidence. I can actually stick to the things I say. And I'm like you, I'm an emotional eater. I'm a stress eater. When I'm stressed out, man, I go that fucking, that's why I don't keep fucking snacks in my house anymore, because I fucking eat the shit out of that stuff, Like what was yesterday? It was Valentine's Day, and my girlfriend got me this box. She knows I love like chocolate truffles. She got me a box of chocolate truffles. They're at her house, not here. I don't eat those motherfuckers in a heartbeat. Like they're staying here at your house. No, they're not going with me.
Yeah, so my wife gave me Butterfingers. That's
fuck
like my fucking weakness, dude. Right? Like I love me some Butterfingers. I'll go ham on Butterfingers. They're actually sitting right over here in a little mummy thing that my in-laws gave me this awesome little mummy like 2 Halloweens ago, and it was all full of like these green like Halloween Snickers. I'm pretty proud of myself, Donald. There's still fucking green Snickers in there.
That's good. That's good.
Like, so it's like there in case I need like a pick-me-up. But once your mental game changes, and this is part of the Warriors way, right? Like once you end up thinking about a goal and you put your mind in a place of discipline, you put yourself on like, this is like, I know what happens if I give into that, and like it's a momentary pleasure. Yeah, yum, chocolate, good, but like, you know what really fucking feels great is to say I made this goal a year ago that was totally fucking crazy, and I nailed it.
Yeah, there's a mantra. So when I was trying to go, I was going through a lot of the stuff about dealing with emotional eating and stuff like that. I had some coaches and stuff, and one of the mantras the coach used to tell me is like, nothing tastes as good as fit feels. And that was a mantra I used to have to tell myself, is nothing feels as good, or nothing tastes as good as fit feels. Nothing tastes as good as fit feels. And I would say it over. Nothing tastes as good as being fit feels. And I would just have to say that to myself, and like, whatever you want to put in your mouth, Donald, it doesn't taste as good as being fit. So.
Well, and really when we extrapolate that out, and guys like you and I can understand, is like, do I give a shit about chocolate, or do I want to see my grandkids?
Exactly.
Like, do I when I see my grandkids, do I want to see them with like a walker and all bubbled up, or fat and diabetic or whatever? Like, nah, man, I want to play with my grandkids.
Oh yeah, well that changed my whole life. Like, when I had my cardiac arrest, I mean, I had 8% blockage in my heart, and it's from I've been a chef for over 40 years. A lot of cream, a lot of butter, a lot of foie gras, a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
And like I had to start really cleaning up my diet. So that was like a big, like shit, man, what you put in your body, what we talk about in the Warriors way, we talk about the body, the domain of body. We talk about 2 elements, fitness and fuel. Fuel was a really big thing I did not pay attention to,
And isn't it interesting once you start eating to fuel your body versus just to like feed your emotions?
Just fucking feed your shit.
Yeah. Like, and when you're actually fueling your body and you're working out and you're seeing, like right now, like I'm putting on some muscle. I just posted up a picture. I mean, I don't look like shredded, but coming from where I was at 300 and
Yeah,
like dipping down to like,
great, man, on Instagram. Yeah, shit. You can tell you're putting on some muscle,
yeah. So like, I'm like, holy shit, like that's working. And
Yeah.
like once I actually get to a cut phase and I'm like, okay, now we're just going to slam down the calories, like then I'll be shredded. But underneath there, like I'm putting on some bulky spots. I like it.
Yeah, I'm taking the jump this week. I'm signing up with Kyle for Superhuman Fathers, and
oh
yeah, he's gonna fuck me up.
big man Carnahan.
Fucking Kyle's gonna fuck me up, man. This Superhuman Fathers is no joke.
No, that's
fat dads to shred dads, right?
Yeah, man. Oh, he's gonna do it to you too, like no
he
doubt.
He left a voicemail on my phone, and just it was like, Kyle has a real deep raspy voice, like
gravel.
He's like, hey man, hey brother, it's time to get you fucking shredded. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck. He's gonna kick my ass. It's gonna be fucking brutal.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
You fucking fucker. You better fucking hold on to something. It's gonna get fucking rough. It's like, oh shit.
I'm sending you a strap from Amazon just to bite down on.
it's like I'm like one of those fucking I need a fucking leather bite to fucking a horse's fucking bit to bite down on. Yeah.
No, that dude's a beast. I love him.
All right.
I love him.
So after we have the body part, we talk about being, business can be cutthroat. How do you kind of maintain your connection, especially like your connection with your values, connection with God, especially when you have to deal with this fucking cutthroat fucking business world and shit like that? How do you maintain that connection?
I have a lot of knives in my bag.
Yeah.
Good, huh? and like I've been fucked a lot of times, and because I see the good in people. Yeah, I try to, and like I try and call that out of them, but not everybody's bent that way. So
not all people want to face the fucking mirror, brother. You know that.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I've always held my word, done my absolute best to hold my word and my integrity, because I'm always like, you know what, like I can make money. Like money's out there to be made, but once I lose my character, once I've lost my name or my honor, like that's something. I can't go back and buy that later. Yep. So that's always, and that's kind of was really instilled in me by my father. Now, I think the other side of that is like, what is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? That often really kind of comes in. And then understanding like whose it all is to begin with. Like, and I feel if I'm showing up for God,
yes,
like God wants to see me blessed. He wants to see me like resourced. He doesn't want a poor son. He didn't adopt me to bring me in to watch me sit on the side of the street. The times that I was facing scarcity, even, I mean, there were times, Donald, where I had like 10 and like 20, 30, $40 in the bank, counting in hundreds at times for a while. And like shamefully for a while. And it's because I stopped being in the fight. I'd sat down. I was like, fuck it. And God is so good that even in those periods, we made it. Whether it was, a little bit of help here, or just like we went to the grocery store with $20, like the Safeway. And it was like, you spent 20, you saved like 130. Like it was like ridiculous. We had a full cart of food.
Oh, I remember that. Like you're sitting there, and as they're ringing up shit, you're fucking seeing the fucking amount on the fucking register, and you're fucking like holding your breath, like,
what am I gonna have to put back?
What do I have to put back? No shit, that's embarrassing, man. Fuck, I've been there too, brother. It sucks.
But I mean, we can talk about it, right? Like because I mean, we're real. And it makes me love where I'm at, and it gives me that stack of confidence of evidence of like, fuck, dude, you were here because you were only there because you gave up. That wasn't about your value. That was about who you were showing up as, because you weren't fucking showing up. You weren't fighting for it. Now you're fighting for it. You're showing up completely differently. And God sees that too. He's like, way to go, son. Like, yes, I will open that for you. Yes, I will do that for you. So, I mean, as far as keeping that connection with God is just keeping that connection with God. Like the stack tool that we have is so important on so many ways. I mean,
that has changed my life, man. The stack. And I'll tell you, man, when I first got into Warrior, and I haven't been in Warrior very long. I joined like in September 20th of 2023. So I haven't.
Yeah, but you're like have a rocket up your ass. Like I'm surprised you haven't gotten hair with how fast.
You know what it was? Is that I mean, and Thax talked to it. And Thax has been my friend for years. I mean, probably 10 years. I've known Thax for 10 years. And he always said, there's one thing missing in your life. And he kept, doing the G talk, the God talk. And he said, there's one thing missing in your life. And now, yeah. And I just it didn't connect to me till after I went to method, and and it really got just like hit me, and my heart opened, my head opened, and I just opened up myself, and I sat there and had that talk with God, and I'll tell you, man, everything just 10x'd.
Yeah, it starts clicking in a whole new way, huh?
Like a lot of people, like, and we talk about this book, Savage Restaurant Success. And a lot of people, I tell people, yeah, I wrote that book in like a month. Like, man, how'd you write that fucking book in a month? I said, you know what? It just flowed through me. It was the voice of, it was God flowing through me saying, this is what you need to say. And you just got to be fucking, and then embrace the warrior. Like, I brought you to warrior, and it's for a reason. And now that you're here, you have to live the way. And like, you got to be fucking real. Got to be fucking face to face. You got to be raw with your fucking emotions. You got to be relevant. Tell people what to focus on, not to fucking waste fucking time.
Time they don't have.
Time they don't have. We're all fucking dying, man. I mean, I always tell people, I hate to be morbid, but you're fucking dying.
Yeah.
You're fucking dying right now. Yeah.
Like, Shawshank, right? Like, get busy living or get busy dying.
That's it. That's all you got, man.
So,
and then, yeah. So it just poured out of me. And so I'm so grateful for finding warrior, because it really has opened my life up to a whole new level of living, a whole new level of experience. Like you said, like after you died, like everything just everything just smells better. Everything just looks brighter. Everything just tastes better. My relationships seem more passionate. I see my partners as more of as someone that I respect, admire, and love and cherish, and that I want to put her on that pedestal and just want to admire her and treat her for the goddess that she is, and not just like, it changed so much of me that I appreciate people at a deeper level too. Yeah.
The relationships become so much more.
Well, that goes into balance, and then balance is a big thing. What are some of the things that, how do you manage to keep your, you said, I got 3 businesses. I'm a husband. I'm a father. How do you manage that, balancing out that relationship, having a healthy, thriving relationship with all those people amidst, trying to juggle 3 businesses at the same time, dude? How do you do that?
Yeah. So, like I said, for a long time, I didn't, right? Like that was what brought me to warrior, is that I didn't have the skill sets to do that. And then getting into warrior, I think one of the most important tools that we have, you've already mentioned it, is the core 4.
Yeah.
It forces us into that pattern of predictable power every single day, where we're investing in our relationships, where we're taking the time out to, like, without expecting any kind of return, to actually give, like, build into the life of our spouse, and our children and our friends. Like yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I didn't get a Hallmark card from my wife. I sent her a gratitude stack.
Oh, nice.
Like that was part of, like, the gifts that I gave her, and she did not miss a Hallmark card. She was like, nope, that was it. That's what I needed to hear. And so awesome. there's these tools, and I've done men's work quite a bit, actually. One of my first coaches actually just jumped in on that post that I put on Instagram and said, "You look great, brother." And that was back in 2015. And Rostowski was a great coach. I mean, we went over a lot of the same kind of topics that we do in Warrior, but there was no system of accountability. There was no system that was just built for production, right? And we use that word production, and we use the word fruit, and we talk about all these different things, and people hear that and they think money, but it's like, no, man, like, your fruit can be, you walk home and your kids are excited to see you. Like, they're not just like, hey, dad.
Yeah, dad, what's up?
No.
Peace
out. They stop everything and they come and they run to me. Like, that to me is fruit. That means I'm showing up. That means I've got stuff building in there, but that's because I'm doing the work. It's because I'm showing. And if I don't have that tool that keeps me in and keeps me focused, and I was listening to one of your lives that you did recently about discipline versus motivation.
Oh yeah, I just did it today, actually.
Yeah, I was listening to it earlier. I was like, man, this is fantastic. And it really just it's those things that you like can get out of your head that you have to think about.
Yeah,
like your Orange Theory thing. Like, if I don't have to, if I can get the fuck out of my own way, I do a lot.
Oh fuck yeah, it's awesome, man.
Like, I can just, you can just be a good soldier, right? Like, this is what I need to do. This is what bang, 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 take it out. You get done with all that shit. Now you got some extra time. You can figure out what you need to do. But you've taken care of these things that are so important, and all of a sudden your relationships, they know they're not forgotten.
Yes.
Things that you need to get done, they're getting done. Like you're staying on top of it. And yeah, when things are a little crazy right now. I'm really glad that we're like our warrior system shifting where it's going, and I'm actually taking my other companies on that platform as well. I'm kind of doing a big shift over to ClickFunnels, and it's going to be nice to live in like one realm there, because right now I'm like, oh, that'll here and here and here, but like to be able to go to one kind of hub and be able to get that done, it's going to be fantastic. But it's about building synergy, but really systemizing everything so that if I can get the fuck out of my own way.
Yeah.
Because if I try and just, freestyle it, oh shit. Like, yeah, that didn't work. It doesn't work. So
yeah, I've tried that shit too. Yeah. So the Warrior's Way. A lot of people have I think misconceptions about the Warrior's Way. What do you think is a misconception people have about the Warrior's Way, and how do you address that in your business practice?
Yeah, so many misconceptions, I think. And if people judge it by their experiences with Garrett, he's an intense man.
He's super fucking intense.
That dude is fire and lightning wrapped in a skin suit. And it's awesome. And actually, like, when being in council and being able to be around him more now, I'm like, I always kind of had this thing. I'm like, we're kind of similar in a lot of ways, like Garrett and I, on like our approach to shit. But he's way more disciplined. He's way farther down the road. I am not saying I'm at his level, but just like kind of in the hardware, somewhere in the soup when God was making us, like there's some similar ingredients in there. That makes sense. And so like when I heard Garrett talk, I was like, fuck, I'm home. Like this is it. And other people hear Garrett talking, they're like, oh no way. And so there's this big disconnect where people think that Warrior is Garrett.
Yeah.
Or that Warrior is a person. It's something. It's a system.
Yeah.
And I was just talking, and so I also put up a post about where I took my helmet in, and I part of Ash Wednesday last night, I got it marked as my logo is, and I had my pastors praying over it, praying over me, praying over the ministry aspect of my work here with being the fight. And there's nobody would look at Warrior and expect a guy to do that.
Right.
But yet I've seen more men come from hating God to being in deep relationship with God in Warrior than I have in any church I've been through. Now, have I seen guys make breakthrough churches? Yes. But I have not seen the thousands of men be able to get real, get raw, get relevant, and get some big badass results with God as fast as they have inside the Warrior system. And people have this huge conception there, and they think that it's just, we're all throwing around fucks and this and that. And it's like, well, that's part of it, because if you actually have the nuts to like drag yourself into your own shit, and not for like a little like afternoon excursion, but like you're setting up a fucking tent and like you're hanging for a while, you're gonna do some fucking work, and you're gonna know that your boys are doing that too. Like that's when all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is more. This is definitely not another dude. This is me becoming a warrior. This is me getting in this fight. This is me that's gonna fix me. There's no guru in Warrior. It's fucking system. It's just a guide. Like that is somebody that you're looking to and go, holy fuck, okay, he's done this shit's intense. Oh fuck. Yeah. Well, he's been doing it for 10 years, and he's not only is he alive, but he's fucking killing it. So all right, like I can keep going with this. Okay. Like that's what the leaders in this program are. That's what you and I become in our own like lanes here, right? Like we're the guys that we're fucking doing this, and I know I'm asking you to do some really intense shit, but there is not a single thing. I'm some kind of ministry or pastor or whatever for 20 years. There is not a single thing that has ever ruffled my faith feathers from what we do in Warrior. It is the most like covertly biblical fucking shit ever.
It is. No, it really is.
And I think that's the greatest misconception, that people think we're just a bunch of savage pagan fucking idiots that are
the biggest kind of misconception I get is people think it's that, because you see Warrior Week, that Sam runs, and they think it's that militant, Navy SEAL, take you on the fucking beach, make you fucking carry a telephone pole, make you sit in the fucking cold water, and get, you know, fucking waterboarded by the fucking waves. They think it's that, you know, you're gonna fucking do burpees till you puke.
Well, you were doing push-ups before you came. You were getting
I
ready.
thought it was like that too. So I had
it was too.
about it too. I was like, motherfucker's gonna get in my face, gonna fucking scream and yell at me, fucking gonna make me fucking do push-ups. I better be ready for this shit. You know, because Dax didn't really give me a lot of fucking insight. So I went off what I saw on the internet and like, holy fuck. All right. And it's like, you know, and I went through pararescue training. I was like, all right, fuck, I've been through this shit before. Fuck you. What do you got, motherfucker? You know? And I was like, oh, get all gung ho. And I was fucking doing push-ups like a motherfucker. And then I tell you, man,
it was worse.
He'll take your fucking frame and he will crush your fucking frame and just fucking, and just, you'll see a fucking, I tell people all the time, like I had a certain frame or a picture of who Garrett was. And then when I went to the method, that frame got crushed and rebuilt in 2 hours. Yeah. And I saw a man who was more compassionate than I've ever seen another human being in my life about wanting to help another human being come out of the fucking pit of their own fucking bullshit and help them fucking find a path and have a system. Like, dude, like, hey, listen, if you follow this fucking path, and he calls it the science of having it all. And there it is. It is a science.
And it's wild because it is. I mean, it's so systematic and it is so just, I mean, you can set a metronome to it. And it seems like and I hated it I resisted it because like I want to hit grand slams. I want the big sexy baby.
Oh yeah, we all
like fucking let's go. I'm gonna go over there now. It's like, no, the fuck you are. You're gonna go. You see that little spot in front of you? You're gonna work like a motherfucker to get there first. Yeah.
I tell you,
haven't earned over there. You are not even close to the man that is required to fucking stand over there right now.
Yeah, and when I first started, dude, I was like fucking resistant of doing the stack. I was like, this is bullshit. You know what the fuck? You know, and I was like, all right. And then like, you know, went back, you know, went to the method. Oh, you got these app, you know, go in there, do the stack every day. All right. You know, did the stacks as part of the homework. I did it because I felt it was like, you know, I had to do it because it required, because
you have to do it.
I have to do it. Like, and I had to do it. And then it's like,
then you want to do it.
All right. And then I was like, well, then this whole, you know, the whole Savage Restaurant Success book and the Warrior Restaurants thing started coming in. It's like, you know, if I'm going to fucking live this and lead this way, I need to really fucking jump into it. And I gave it an honest fucking approach. And I got to do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. And so I really started doing it because I wanted to do it. And then fuck, man, it's like fucking everything just started fucking, the domino just fucking fell over. And then all this fucking like shit just started happening. It's like, holy crap.
Click. Like you realize you're fucking in for a ride now. You need a 5-point harness just for fucking being in your life. And so in my challenge right now, I'm working on like my second team of guys is about ready to get going. And like the first guys, they're like, I don't know about this stack, man. I'm like, I know you don't know about the stack. Like, and it's not because like you're just like I was. You're just like every man that runs into the stack. Like, it's like a prompted journal, dude. Like, it's not that big a deal. I mean, you talk about it like it's like, and I'm like, well, because, dude, like you're a fucking rookie. Like you're not even worthy of a white belt, right?
Yeah, you're not asking yourself the deep questions yet. Yeah, you're playing surface level shit.
Yeah, and then like you start asking yourself the deep questions, and then you start, oh, okay, I didn't even know that was going to come up there. That's interesting. And then once you've like been doing it, and I'm sure you're kind of like, because you've been like so hyper speed, like fast laning on this, but like once you start getting into your stack time, and you're like, hey God, like I'm inviting you into this time with me right now. And I'm gonna pick at a scab here that I've kind of ignored for a little while.
That's a good word for it.
I want you. I know I'm gonna bleed, but I want you to show me where and what I'm bleeding for,
right?
And how you want to change that, because I don't just want to do this for a deeper scar. I want to do this because I want to learn, and I want to move past this shit.
Fuck yeah!
I want to outgrow this version of me.
Yeah. So tell us about Being the Fight.
Yeah, so Being the Fight is really just that. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, right? Like there's a decade worth of time that I just jumped out. And I've seen that with entrepreneurs. And what was crazy is that, I mean, like I've never given up on this business wholeheartedly, but I gave up in the fact that I wasn't fighting with it. I'm still, one of my early partners is like, motherfucker, are we going to do this thing? Like, I am tired of like playing other games. I've always wanted to do this. And I'm like, yes, we are still doing it. I've still got like sketchbooks. So I was 22 years old and I'm launching this like massive location-based service for safety. And I was right. But I was also 22 years old looking for millions of dollars. And they were like, I don't know. I get where they were coming from because I was also an idiot because I was 22, but I was also right. So this is big catch 22. But I could have gone back at that point and talked to any of my entrepreneur buddies and be like, yeah, dude, I just fucked up. And I like didn't have the ego was too big for that. I want to get guys to break down that ego and not spend a fucking decade disconnected from who they are. I mean, you might be a fucking month out of like losing your groove or whatever you want to call it. Like whenever you put down the sword and you were like, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired and I don't really want to do this shit anymore. Well, I got fucking good news and bad news for you. You're going to have to fight either way. You can fight for the fucking scarcity that you're clinging to right now and leave your sword over there on the bench and fucking just play in the dirt. Or you can listen to me and I'll help you get back on your feet and get that sword in your hand. And you're still going to be fighting and you might get knocked down a few more times. But fuck, it feels a lot better to fight with a sword in your hand than just sitting on your ass with no sword and being a bitch. And that's kind of a rough way to put it. But if somebody would have, like, that's how Garrett got into my world, was that kind of language that woke me up. I was already waking up, but I'm here kind of not to be a Garrett, but to meet those guys where I was and be like, look, man, I see you. I know it's hard. And a lot of these guys are doing it in silence too. Like they might have, their life was looking good, but on the inside, their relationship with themselves, like who they're showing up as. I mean, I wrote it in a post just like, I think it was just last night about like, people want to be producers. People want to be fathers. People want to be husbands. People want to be the respected in their home. And they might even be doing all the right things across those. But the fucking world has told men that they're not able to do any of those.
Exactly.
Like the zeitgeist out there has been programming society to disrespect men. And now when you have a strong man that's doing all of those things, that's being a strong father, a great husband, they make him out to be the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, we can actually put a dent in that too, because I think there's a lot more of us here that actually are going to be rebels and be a productive father and be a great husband and be an awesome human being in their community and be a good friend, be great to themselves and with God. Like, we need more of those. And this isn't about like anything else other than saying no to the other stuff. Like, get that discipline of saying no to other things so you can say yes to yourself, so you can say yes to your kids, you can say yes to your business, you can say yes to your wife. Like, that's where you got to get. But first, you got to figure out the no. And a lot of that is like, hey, are you ready to get in this fight to take on that shit that you will no longer stand for? Yeah. And you can start there. You can just fucking start there. What will I no longer tolerate? And then we'll go after the shit you really want.
There you go.
We've got we're working with a 40-day challenge right now. Like I said, I got two teams of guys running through there right now. We got like Team Alpha, Team Bravo coming up behind them. And then from there, we get onto the path to victory, which is really kind of digging down, deeper dive into all the tools and adding on the tools. We talked about the core and we've talked about the stack. Those are some of the initial conversations that we'll have in the challenge, as well as just really getting real and stopping with the fucking lying. Because I know that when we got into going into Warrior, that's a punch in the face.
That is a punch. It's a nut kick.
Dick kick, punch to the face. Your nose is flat. Your dick sideways. Your balls hurt. Your butt's sore. You got an IOU in your hand. You don't know what just happened to you, but you know you're fucked up, and you don't really appreciate why. And you're looking in the mirror and you're like, I did this to myself. I did this to myself. And so really getting into that part of where you're like, I'm not an evil man lying out here like a sin of commission. How many lies of omission have I told or not told the whole truth or held back something? If
people want to check out Be in the Fight, what's the website?
So beinthefight.com is the website, and I'm actually jumping in there later today to put on some more shine on it. We kind of downloaded everything and shut her down, and then we kicked back up in some other ways. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of the pages back up. There's ways to apply to get into the challenge that are going to be going up later today. I'm going to be putting a link up there for a video ask, because it's not something that I want to make sure that people are serious about this.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's not like we're gonna go pick some daisies and I'm gonna tell you you're awesome kind of challenge. It's really, I want to make sure that you're ready for it, that you have your why set up, because you need one. It's you're gonna be hurting for a little while, and I want to make sure that you're not just like, well, this isn't as much fun as I thought it was, because I want guys that are gonna
there. Yeah, I put up on the banner there. You can contact Kirk at beinthefight.com. Check out his stuff. I mean, he is, I will tell you, everyone I've met at Warrior, these are men that not only want to be better for themselves, they want to be better for their families, they want to be better for their community, they want to be better for the world. And one of the things I know, and even though I work in the restaurant space, my thing about my Warrior restaurants is not just to make a restaurant owner a fucking badass and lift him up to have it all lifestyle. I want to change the whole industry. I want to start a revolution in the restaurant industry. And the restaurant industry has a fucked up reputation for treating people like shit, like turn and burn people. We burn them out. Lots of drugs, lots of alcohol, a lot of fucking addictions in the restaurant industry. We fucking just turn through people like they're fucking nothing. I want to change that. And Warrior Restaurants is like my vehicle to help change that. And like, how do you change an industry? One restaurant at a time. How do you change a restaurant? One person at a time. Same thing with you.
I want to go ahead and give your listeners, I mean, meeting you has been such a pleasure, and you're such like, there's this magnetism. I think we kind of like did a couple of walking talks definitely together, and we hadn't even figured out whether we were just a couple of corpses walking around yet. But
we don't know. Like, oh my God, you died, I died. All right, you died, I died.
You too?
You died too. Damn.
High five. But yeah, though we hadn't even kind of figured that out. But like, you're just such an awesome guy, and like your go get itness, like your assertiveness, and I mean, if you're out there and you've got a restaurant and you need to unfuck it, this is your guy. Number one, you're gonna get a rocket in your ass, which you probably need, and you're gonna be walking alongside somebody with a heart that I trust and that you should be able to trust. Like this is a great man right here. And we don't throw around fluff in Warrior. Like no,
we don't.
Like we don't fuck around with that. So like when I do that, you need to say like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And it's like same thing. If you're an entrepreneur, a man out there that wants to get in the fight, be in the fight, stay in the room. One of the key phrases I like to tell people all the time is like, sometimes you just gotta stay in the fucking room, man. You know, if the shit gets bad, we want to run it. I mean, I know a lot of guys, I mean, myself included, I used to be a fucking runner. Mm-hmm. When shit got heavy, man, I want to fucking, the first thing I'll do is like in old relationships, I would want to fucking fight. And I even do it to this day. I want to fight and then I want to get the fuck out of the room. But then I tell myself in my head, stay in the fucking room. You gotta stay in the fucking room sometimes, man. That's the only way you fucking learn how to fucking master yourself is to stay in the fucking shit. And like Kirk says, man, you gotta be in that fucking fight every fucking day. Yep. It's not you don't win the fight one day.
No.
Every fucking day, baby. You
gotta and the beauty of it is like, as soon as you win the fight, like you meet your new competitor. Which, by the way, you become the new version of you.
That's it.
And now it's time to kill him too.
You gotta break that down in fucking I always tell restaurant owners, every level requires another devil.
Yep. New devil.
Another level, another devil, baby. My friend, it was an honor to have you on the show today. Again, if you want to reach out to Kirk, please reach out to him, man. You know, he's like me. We love to talk to people.
Oh yeah.
If you're dealing with some shit, you know, and you want to get past that ego, pride, denial bullshit that's holding you stuck in that pit of fucking poverty, you want to ascend to that peak of prosperity and really achieve that have it all lifestyle, my friend here, Kirk, can help you. If you're an entrepreneur, man, please reach out to him, help you, because I know he's in it for the right reasons and his heart is solid. The man, I mean, and he is, you want to talk about, he is a big motherfucker. He's a big motherfucker. It's like, I'm 6'3", and I stand next to him, I feel like I'm a fucking midget. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's bigger than me. And I thought I was a big guy.
Yeah. So all love to Kyle, right? But like I saw his photos and I'm like,
dude, he's a fucking beast too. Yeah. And if you're a fat dad and you want to get ripped, reach out to my friend Kyle.
Carnahan.
He's at Superhuman Fathers, and then his wife Whitney, she has Warrior Moms. I mean, we got people in the Warrior Network. I'm telling you, whoever you are, whatever your problem is, we have someone in our network who can help you.
Well, and two, you know, like into that, like people, well, why are you guys like so like converted? Like why? Well, because we found something so special. Like, and
And
it's
the
like
shit
it's
works, dude.
science.
Fucking shit
It,
works. I mean,
shit
I'm not, yeah,
works. It
shit
will
works.
unfuck you quick, and not only that, but it will like how deeply do we need as our society here to unfuck
No shit.
marriages
Oh my
and
God, yeah.
parent-children relationships? Like we got to get like that's another kind of like shadow meaning here of like
That's
be
a
in the
shadow
fight,
book.
get in
Yeah,
the
that's
fight.
another fucking level of shit. Yeah, but man,
Oh
we
yeah,
got people in our warrior network. You're dealing with addictions. You're dealing with alcohol. We got I am a comeback. You got
yep.
fucking you're dealing with a narcissistic relationship. We got fucking people in warrior deal with that. You
Ben
got
Taylor,
fucking
yeah.
marriage problems. We got people deal with that. You want to have more sex? We got people who deal with that. You know, whatever your problem is, we got people in warrior that actually work with those people.
Yeah,
Everyone
find
has
your
their
flavor.
find your flavor, baby. I mean, yeah. And again, not everyone's going to be like the right fit for you. Reach out to Kirk. If he can help you, he'll help you. If he can't help you, trust me, he'll be fucking honest and he'll recommend
Yep.
someone else who might be able.
I'll find
Might
you
be a
somebody
better
that
fit.
can.
Yeah, yeah. But we want you to get help. Here's the thing: if you're
Absolutely.
struggling, if you don't have the life that you want, if you don't have everything, I mean, the have it all lifestyle, if you don't have the body, the being, the balance, and the business, and I'm not talking about a business that just makes a little money. I'm going to talk about having real fucking wealth. You know, I mean, having it all. We in Warrior are all about having the have it all lifestyle, not one. Hey, my business is doing fucking great, but man, I look like fucking shit. No. Hey, my business is doing good, my body's good, but I don't have no fucking connection with anybody or my higher self or a fucking even connection with myself. I'm beating myself up mentally all day. That's not going to work for us. Hey, you know what? Fuck, my relationship, my marriage is down to fucking tubes. I sedate with fucking drugs, alcohol, porn, and I'm fucking fooling around with the fucking waitress as an extramarital affair. That shit ain't gonna fucking cut it, you know?
Higher levels.
Higher levels, baby. So please reach out to Kurt, beinthefight.com. If I can help you, you can always go to warriorrestaurants.com. You can always reach out to me anytime you need me. I am here to help you basically achieve everything that you want in life. And I will pull out every fucking tool in my arsenal to help you get there.
Oh, we got tools, baby. We got tools,
baby. I will fucking pull out every fucking tool in my arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
I always tell people, be careful what you ask for, because I will give it to you. Right? Be careful what you ask for. I will fucking give it to you. I have
one of the things I warn my guys. I'm like,
yeah,
you gotta be careful because you're gonna see some shit here that you can't unsee.
Yeah. So I had a Warrior Restaurants call yesterday, and we have a weekly call with the Warrior Restaurants group. And a couple of people didn't show up, and I lit them up in the fucking app and like, hey, listen, motherfuckers, you fucking asked me for this. You took an application, you got on a call, and I said, do you fucking want this? I said, be careful what you fucking ask for, because if you want this, I will give it to you, but you got to fucking come to the mat with me, and you got to get on the fucking call. So do not fucking, this is not passive fucking bullshit. It's like, you know, I wrote a fucking great, I think this book's awesome. Savage Restaurant Success. Oh, yeah. You can pick up the book, you can read it. But if you don't apply the fucking shit in here, your life will not fucking change, my friends. Nothing will change. Nothing changes until you decide I must change. Not, you know, I should change. I should do some shit. I should go to the gym. No, I have to get my fucking lazy fucking ass to the gym.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny too. I've got some people that are like, oh, but the cost. And I'm like, look, man, how much is it costing you right now?
No shit.
Like, let's start doing some math here. Like, how much is that divorce gonna cost you?
Yeah, I talk about opportunity costs. How much is it going to cost you when you're fucking laid up in the fucking hospital on a fucking ventilator because you don't fucking have no health yet? How's it going to feel when your kids are, you know, when you're in your fucking 50s and you can't fucking walk a fucking block? Kid wanted to go for a walk with you and you can't go out and play with your fucking kids. Trust me, man, dude, I was there, man. I had fucking 2 little kids. I was 285 fucking pounds. I got divorced. I had my kids on the fucking weekends, and I let them play fucking video games because I was so fucking out of shape. I couldn't do shit with them. Right? That's not fucking living, dude.
Nope. And like I just also this last November, I had a surgery on both my feet at the same time to remove some. Ooh, fuck. we can just do a whole whiteboard full of shit that was wrong with this.
I got a whole fucking list of shit.
That's a whole nother podcast right there.
That's a whole nother fucking 2-hour fucking episode.
Yeah. So, but like the interesting thing was like, shit, like 4 or 5 days ago, I think it was Sunday. We went to Costco and it was raining here, and so I'm jumping with my daughter. She's almost 8, and I'm holding her hand, and I'm like jumping over the cracks and the puddles with her and dancing around on the balls of my feet, which she's never seen her father do that, because I've been dealing with these neuromas for 7 years. And so like me being able to like dance around with her and skip around and jump puddles, like she was giggling so loudly, and it like hit me. It was like, fuck,
That's
dude.
beautiful.
Like, you were hurting for so long that you've never even been able to do. I mean, we've done a lot of stuff. Of all the things I fucked up, I was still a pretty good dad. But like, just guys, you were missing the fuck out sitting on the sidelines. Like the costs of all this are just so huge. That's what I'm getting at. When you ignore things and you set it on the side, you are missing out on the little fucking things like jumping over puddles, or getting that business to where you really fucking want it, getting your marriage to where you really fucking want it, and you're having sex and you're each other's biggest cheer. You're missing out. I just fucking know you are. And even if you think you got it all, it can be so much better. Like, if you are not on a system like this, it's work, but it will just completely up level your life. There's a guarantee. If you show up, like Donald said, and you do the fucking work, if you come in with me and you get in the fight with me and you stay in the fight, there is no fucking way you can't unfuck yourself. Just the same way as your business at the restaurants. I have no doubt that like Emerald could come to you and you'd be like, man, look, we're gonna fix you up, Emerald.
Fix your shit. Yep.
So
again, Kurt is my brother in the warrior way. He's out there for you. If you need help, please reach out to him at beinthefight.com. I will have the link in the show notes if you want to reach out to him, please. Again, remember, last thing I'll leave you with is I have a commitment to help you get the restaurant and life you desire. And to do that, you have to be savage and not average. Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Donald. My pleasure.